When it comes to companions in Star Wars The Old Republic, they can elicit some pretty strong opinions. Some you love, some you hate, some you love to hate. But then there are the others, the ones whose conversations you spacebar through, the ones you struggle to remember when you're making those tier lists. The ones who never leave the ship. Most of us have a few of those, and here, in no particular order, are 5 companions we almost forget about. So let's get right into it and kick the list off with Zalek. He has a cool voice, but apart from that, he doesn't bring much to the table. Now, to be fair, the poor guy doesn't really have much of a chance. Not only is he the Inquisitor's last companion, which is usually a big enough problem for any companion to overcome, he also doesn't arrive until right before Corellia, or, right before the end of the story. So you don't have much time to get to know him, and what little story he does have feels rushed. You learn a little bit about Kalish culture, so I suppose that's fine, but he never really feels like the Inquisitor's apprentice. And that's a real bummer since he's supposed to be your official Korriban apprentice. As much as it pains me to say it, Ashara does a better job of filling that role with all of your discussions about Sith versus Jedi philosophies, so poor Zalek just ends up standing there in the corridor where BioWare plopped him. On the bright side, his recruitment quests do allow you to go back to Korriban and see your old buddy Harkin again. And he speaks basic at least, so you don't have to read subtitles. Something we can't say about the next guy on our list. That's right, I'm looking at you, Broommark. Broommark shows up on Hoth and is the warrior's last companion, and sometimes it feels like he's just in there because the warrior needs a 5th companion. When you meet him on Hoth, all he can talk about is slaughtering his clan because they don't want to go around committing mass murder all the time. Once he's on your ship, all he can talk about is killing his clan because they don't want to go around doing mass murder all the time, or killing the Republic because the Republic made his clan not want to go around doing mass murder all the time. Which means, 1, he's really boring, and 2, unless I'm playing a Darkside Psycho, he doesn't really fit on my ship. And even if I am playing a Darkside Psycho, I already have Darkside Psycho Jaisa to help me out. I mean, she's just as bloodthirsty as he is, but at least her dialogues are more entertaining, and she speaks basic so you don't have to read the subtitles. Or, as I do now whenever I talk to Broommark, spacebar past his dialogues. Now let's switch it up and go to the Republic side and talk about Sergeant Rusk. We meet him on Hoth, where he helps the Knight gather the final piece to the puzzle to their assault on the Emperor's space station. He's a no-nonsense soldier who has very little regard for the lives of the men under him, and without the Knight's intervention, he'll get most of them killed during the mission. Once the mission on Hoth is over, Rusk is reassigned to the Knight's crew. Once he's on your ship, we learn a little more about him. He has a tragic backstory that makes him the man he is today. He comes from a colony of pacifists who were wiped out by the Imperials, so he wants to wipe out Imperials in turn, and that's pretty much all there is to Rusk. Of course, it was going to be difficult to make a splash on a crew as colorful as the Knights, but still, it feels like Rusk is only there because the Knight needs a ranged DPS. Honestly, I think he would have worked better on the Troopers crew, where he could have replaced Vic, and worked pretty well with a no-nonsense victory-at-all-cost trooper. But on the Knight's crew, he just kind of fades into the background for me, and mostly just stays on the ship. While we're on the subject of the trooper, let's talk about Yun. He's a Gand Findsman we meet on Hoth. In fact, we are sent there specifically to recruit him because his Findsman skills are essential to our mission to tackle the Gauntlet. So he has an actual story reason for joining our crew, unlike some of the other companions on this list. And his intriguing Findsman abilities make him one of the most unique companions in the entire game. Unfortunately, none of that translates to an interesting companion, at least not for me. We never really learn much about the Gand, or what it means to be a Findsman. Granted, it doesn't help that he looks like a giant fly, and that his voice sounds like what you would think a fly might sound like if Vic could talk. So, while he could have been interesting, my troopers just leave him on the ship. And on that note, let's move on to our last entry on this list, the Consular's Felix Arzo. We meet Felix, like a lot of the companions on this list, on Hoth, where he helps the Consular defeat a powerful pirate and learn some more about the children of the Emperor. Like Rusk, Felix is a soldier, but unlike Rusk, he cares very much about the men under his command. But despite his success in the mission and how well liked he is, he's transferred off of Hoth to the Consular ship, where he really doesn't have much to do. And that's really the problem. He just doesn't seem to have much of a reason for being there. Much as Rusk doesn't seem to have a compelling reason to join the Knight. Unlike Rusk, Felix's backstory is actually interesting. He has a Sith holocron stuck in his head, and it's caused him some memory loss, as well as ruined his career. Unfortunately, that's about as far as it goes. Something I've already complained about in another video. Nevertheless, he's a decent guy. He's nice, calm, and chill. So I don't dislike him, but considering so many other companions come well before him, he just ends up staying on the bridge. And that's it. That's my list of 5 companions that mostly just stay on the ship. I don't hate them, I just kind of forget about them. What about you? What companions do you mostly ignore? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, like and subscribe for more stuff like it. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.